All right, so they had a trading post across the street from the Cherokee Indian Reservation.
Who had a trading post?
My grandma and her husband,
Uh-huh.
Debra. So anyway, Daddy used to stand in the yard and watch the Indians because they were very social and they liked to get together and they liked to have powwows or parties. And at the powwows, they would, are you listening, Allie? At the powwows, they would beat drums and dance and chant and all the things that they did, and they'd have a big feast. And so they just love to get together with other tribes. So Daddy says maybe the Cherokee would go visit the Choctaws, or the Osage would go visit the Comanches. And he said the tribes were so big back then, they walked past the trading post, and it would take 3 days for their tribe to get past walking. That's a lot of people. And most of them walked, but they did have wagons, and the dogs walked, except a few chosen dogs. They were allowed to ride in the wagons because they were going to cook them at the feast.
Yikes.
Yeah, and they liked dog. They said dog heap good, snake heap good. So they would have dog and snake at their powwows. So since they were at the trading post, this one Indian chief, and his name was Humpy, really was Humpy, but they pronounced it Humpy. And he was a chief, and he had been injured in a war against the white people, and he had a big hump on his back. So that's why they called him Humpy. But anyway, Humpy wanted them to come to a powwow, invited them, and my grandma said no. And he said, why won't you come? And she says, because you serve dog and snake, and I don't want to eat dog. He says, dog heap good, snake heap good. Okay, we know have dog, we know have snake, you come. So on the day of the powwow, they got all dressed up and they went in the wagon, and my daddy was so excited he got to go to this powwow. So anyway, they went in the wagon, and after a while they heard a noise, and they got closer, and it was the drums banging and that, the chanting, and it scared my grandma so bad, she made him turn around, her husband turn around, and go home. And my daddy was so disappointed, and he was disappointed the rest of his life.
That sucks.
And anyway, Humpy came into the trading post, and he was really mad at her. He says, we no have dog, we no have snake, and you no come.